Hey everybody, welcome to Stamping with Melva. I'm Melva Peters and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in British Columbia, Canada, and you can find me online at stampingwithmelva.com. It's Wednesday today. I am so mixed up on the dates, or the days of the week. I don't know where the time's going, but it's Wednesday today, and I am here with a technique for you. It's been a while since I made one of these shaker cards. I love to make shaker cards. And this is called a frameless shaker card. And you'll see why in a minute. I've made one before, and it's like I said, it's been a while since I've made one, and I thought it would be fun to make with the A Little Cheer bundle. It's a stamp and punch bundle with the little tiny punches that will punch out some really tiny little a stocking, a star, and a Christmas tree that are perfect to put into your shaker for the little shaker bits. And so I thought it was kind of a fun bundle to pull out. It's been around for a little while. I think it was an online exclusive, if I remember correctly, but it's still available, and so I thought it would be fun to make a card today. All right, I'm going to switch over to my desktop. Just going to make sure that I can see comments on my Facebook group and comments here, and I can. Okay, I'm going to switch over to my desktop and we'll get started. So this is the A Little Cheer stamp set. So little tiny images. So Christmas presents, a snowflake, and then these are the three images, the stocking, the star, and the Christmas tree, that you can punch out with these cute little dies or little punches. Some cute little sentiments, and then of course a garland or banner that you can create a garland with these images as well. Okay, so let's get started. I don't have a sample to show you of what a frameless shaker card looks like, but you'll see as we go along. So the first thing you need is one of our clear envelopes, the medium clear envelopes, and we're going to use that to put our shaker bits in. And then you need a piece of window sheet. So you can either use window sheets that you can buy in 12 by 12. You can see that there. Or you can use the thicker of the two plastic pieces that come as part of stamp sets. So this has been cut to 4 inches by 5 1/4. And we're just going to take that and put into our medium clear envelope. So the reason it's called frameless is because this is going to this clear envelope is going to hang on the front of our card. So it's been a little wider than the 4 1/4 by 4 1/4 inch wide, but it still works for the front of a card. And then the other piece that you need is, this is for the back of the card. This is 4 1/4 by 11, and we're going to score this at 5 1/2. All right, we're going to set that aside for the moment because we're going to work on the front of the card. So you've put your piece 4 inches by 5 1/4 piece of window sheet into the clear envelope. You want the front of your envelope to be the side with the flap on it, and then the back pulls off. And I went ahead and I stamped and punched out a whole bunch of these. There's stockings and trees. The cool thing about the punch is it's a little bit smaller than the stamped image, and so you don't get the white border around them, the pieces. And the reason I'm turning these all over, because when I put them into my shaker, into my envelope, I want all of the stamped side, the colored side, to be forward. So we're going to take them and you're going to insert them in. So keep the window sheet towards the back, and these are going to go on the front side of the window sheet like that. So these are some of our shaker bits that are in there, and I've punched out, no, I've stamped, I haven't punched them out. So this is what I just went ahead and I stamped these on some scraps of basic white, and I just wanted to show you, they're so cute when you punch them out. So I just wanted a few more. So those there, and then I have a few more of the little stars. Trying to keep them so that there we go. Oops, that one didn't work. Turn that one over. Now some of these I'm going to make a banner for the front of the card, and so I'm going to save a few of these for that banner on the front. Okay, that's the star. Turn that one over, and then the last is this tree. So I've stamped the stocking in Cherry Cobbler, and I stamped the stars in Darling Duckling, and the trees are stamped in Mossy Meadow. You could make them whatever you want. So I've got a real, what I think of real traditional Christmas colors going on here. Okay. All right, that's all my bits punched out. So I am going to save 2 of the trees, 2 of the stars, and 2 of the stockings for the front of the card, and then I'm going to take the rest of these and put in. Now the one thing I could have done before I put my piece of my window sheet in is I could have taken my embossing buddy and run over it so these move a little bit more, but I think they'll be fine. And I'm going to add some of the gold shaker stars, so these really pretty gold sequins, and I'm going to take and add some of those in here as well, just to mix it up a little bit and make it more of a shaker card. Now, the next thing you want to do is we're going to seal this, and you're going to make sure that you seal it really well. So I'm going to turn it over gently, and I'm going to use some tear and tape. When I made this card the first time, it did not seal completely. So I'm going to take some tear and tape about the width, definitely the width of my window or my envelope, and I didn't get that quite wide enough, so let's try that again. All right. Okay, so now I'm going to take my Take Your Pick tool. I am using this because when I did this before, I had shaker bits falling out of it because all I did was just seal my envelope this over like that, and it didn't seal it well enough. So I'm going to just take this and kind of just open up my, let's do this, open up my envelope, and I'm going to kind of just tuck this just slightly below the top of my envelope, the closing of my envelope, and I'll trim it because now I've got more than I need. Trim it a little bit more. So I'm going to tuck that down. So this is just making sure that this is going to be sealed really well, and I'm not just relying on this adhesive that is on the clear envelope. So we're going to press that down really well across the top, and now we can take and peel that adhesive strip off, and we're going to just fold that over like that. Oops, actually I didn't want to do that. Okay, let's wait for that. Okay, so the next step, so you've got this sealed with your tear and tape adhesive, and we're now bringing our card base in. This is where it's a bit weird. When I first saw this card, I couldn't figure this out. So we've got our 4 1/4 by 11, and we've scored it at 5.5. For this card, the score line is actually the bottom, and what we're going to do is we're going to seal this flap into the card. So I'm going to gently turn this over like that, line it up, and now this, if I line that up, it's gonna, the adhesive sheet is a little bit, sorry, not adhesive sheet, the clear envelope is a little wider than the card itself, but now we've got, as added protection, we've got this sealed in there, and then we can take and close this off. Now I'm going to use tear and tape again. You can use liquid glue if you want, but I am just going to make sure that this is plenty sealed across. And we're going to do this. You could do it lengthways if you want, and maybe I will put some down there. This is going to be very well sealed. Checking for comments. Don't forget to tell me where you're watching from. If you have a favorite way to make shaker cards, there's a few ways to make shaker cards. My favorite, because I think it's the easiest way, is to actually use these clear envelopes. Whether you do the frameless version like I'm doing now, or you put the clear envelope on the front. But now we sealed this. That's just helping keep everything in. So this is now the front of our card. So this is the shaker bit on the front of the card. And you've got basically your card. So you've got a clear section in the front. This is what would be the inside of your card. And so we're going to decorate that inside of the card. I've cut a piece. This is the piece of the traditional Christmas designer series paper that I cut to 4 inches by 5 1/4, and I really like this very delicate polka dot. So this is going to be, you're going to see this through like that. You guys probably can't. Oh, there you can see the polka dots. See that? Now we're going to put something on the inside of the card so that you can do your sentiment on. So this is going to go on like that. You're going to see this through the card, and we're going to do some stamping on that. So I thought what I would do is make a bit of a garland with some stamping. So I didn't get this out. So this is the little, what would be the string. Let's get a block out for it. Now this is very wobbly. It's really thin, and so I just put it down on, and you can move it if you want to, but just kind of put it down on its surface and then pick it up with your block. So we're going to stamp this. Hey Sarah, welcome. We're going to stamp this in Tuxedo Black Memento. And I'm just going to do like that. Now, this is going to go on the inside. So we're going to close my ink up. And let's get our stamps out again. So I'm going to just take and stamp, try to connect my my stockings to that string, so they're not hanging in loose air. Same with the stars that I'm stamping in Daffodil Delight. Do both sides of this. And then the tree. We'll just do one there. I'm going to do one more star. The stars will be at the top. They're a little easier to do that connect. There we go. Like that. All right, that's my garland for the inside. And now I've got green Mossy Meadow ink on my finger. Oopsie. So let me try and clean that off before I get that all over my card. Okay, I'm going to leave that sit for a minute. We'll work on, while my finger's drying, I don't want to touch my white basic white cardstock. So we'll do something on the front of the card. What I want to do is I want to hide this piece of tear and tape. You can really see that tear and tape. And so I've pulled out, this is the black and white and gold baker's twine that is part of the ornamental, or not the modern Christmas suite. And so I'm just going to take, and my way of hiding this is I'm going to wrap this around the top of my card 2 or 3 times, maybe one more, just so that you can't, it hides for the most part the that tear and tape at the front. Make sure it's on the front side. There, that's not so bad. So you're not seeing that, not quite so obvious. And then we'll take and tie my bow on this side. If you need an extra finger to do this, I might have to, oh no, not too bad. If you need an extra finger to tie that twine, grab your tweezers. There, and I'm going to use a little glue dot just to kind of hold that bow in position like that. There we go. Close enough. Kind of looks like a present. All right, so I need a sentiment. Oh, I need this. Now this is dry, so let's glue this on the inside of the card. And then I can figure out where my sentiment's going to go. So this is going to go in the center. So you can see that through, but that's okay. That's kind of what I was thinking. And then what I did is I punched out of Cherry Cobbler a 2-inch circle using this 2-inch circle punch, and then a 1 3/4 inch circle using the 1 3/4 inch circle punch. And what I'm going to do is I am going to stamp in Cherry Cobbler the sentiment that says, "Sending a little cheer." And I think I'm going to use the stars. We'll see. The stars, and I need a little scrap because I want to stamp off. So I'm going to take and just stamp off, and we'll maybe, what color is that? That's that color. I'm going to stamp off. Yeah, okay, so this is Cherry Cobbler. I'm going to stamp off twice because this is quite dark. Like that. I just don't want my my little images to be too dark. And then this is Mossy Meadow. Okay, and then I'm going to stamp twice on that one, and then just, there we go. Okay. So I'm going to use dimensionals. Yeah, there's some around the outside that I can use. So I think that one of my team members demonstrated this on one of our team events, team meetings, maybe a year or so ago, and I think it was Patty Bennett that actually that showed it. So I'm just going to take, these shaker bits are all over the place, which is exactly what I want. I'm going to just use some, let's see, I guess some liquid glue. No, I think I'll use dimensionals. I have some here. Like that. So we're just going to put this down here in the corner. And I saved some of my bits, which I didn't use after all. So I'm going to actually use mini dimensionals and use one of these bits. And now that I stamped on my my sentiment piece, I'm going to take these, since I have them and they're so cute, I'm going to take these with just a mini dimensional and just pop these up over the stamped image, and even if the stamp image shows a little bit, that's okay. And the last is the little Christmas tree, like that. There we go. I didn't bring any dimension. I don't think it needs any embellishments. There's lots of these the little gold sequins, but there we go. That's called a frameless shaker card. So you've got that on the inside, and if you wanted to, you could put a sentiment on the inside. You could also, I've got a piece of basic white here, and another stamp that says Christmas time is here. So this could go on the back of the card, so that you have a place to write your notes, and then you won't see that through the clear section of the card. So we'll just put that on the back of the card so that there's a place to write something. All right, so a frameless shaker card. I love these. I think they're so fun, and I think I'm gonna have to make some more for Christmas. All right, so if you have any questions, not sure about how that goes together, I will be doing another blog post, but if you searched on my blog for shaker cards, you will find this post. I used a snowflake flurries, maybe snowflake flurries from a year or so ago. And on that same blog post, I included links to my YouTube channel where I show you how to make two other different ways to do shaker cards. So I'll pull those forward on my next blog post when I share this card. But if you're looking for it, search my blog for frameless shaker card. All right, everybody, thanks for joining me. Now, the next time I'll be live will be Saturday at 11 a.m. Pacific, so come join me then and we'll make another project.